Well, good day, friends and neighbors. Today we're going to make this maze game, and it's going to be a little bit hard, so I'm going to show you how it works. I'll click the green flag, and the cat can move through the maze, but he can't go through the walls. He gets stuck when he tries to hit a black wall, and he can't move anymore. So that's the first thing we have to learn, is how to stop the cat from going through the walls. Okay? Let's get started with that first. So here I am. I just created a brand new project, and I have a cat, and he doesn't have any walls. So I'm going to make some walls. I'm going to go down here, not choose a sprite. No, I'm going to go up here and paint a sprite. I'm going to paint a sprite, and it's going to be a black sprite. So just move them all the way to the left, all the way. And then no outline. I don't need an outline, so I'm going to say outline none. And I'm going to use this black little rectangle, and I think I'll start right about here. And I'll make just one. I'm just going to make one wall. Is going to be right there. That looks pretty good. I'm going to put this wall right about there. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to duplicate this wall. So give it a right click. Down here I can duplicate this wall. And I'll just move the other wall. It's going to be over here. This wall is going to be over here. And my cat's going to be in the middle. So I'm moving my cat down here. Now let's go look at some code. I'm going over here to the left hand side. I'm going to do code. I'm going to code this cat. See, I'm on the cat right now. So we all know how to start a game. Somebody's going to click the green flag. Let's make that bigger. And the first thing I want this cat to do is go where I just put him. So I'm going to say motion, go to X and Y. And remember, he already knows exactly where you are. It's at -8 and -126. Then I want this cat to be able to walk. So I'm going to put a forever in there, because I want him to walk when I tell him to walk. So I'm going to say if somebody's pressing the right arrow, and I know we've done this before, if somebody's pressing a key is sensing. If somebody is pressing a key, which key? I'm going to say right arrow. If somebody's pressing the right arrow, I want to change the X. I'm going to change the X because I know X means left and right. Change the X. Now, hey, do you ever notice they have these little squares up here? You can click it and say, I want it to be smaller. Oh, look at that. Or I want it to be bigger. Hey, look at that. I'm going to make it smaller just so you can see this better. Now, wait a minute. What if somebody presses the left arrow? So I got to do another if, don't I? So I'm going to do another if. If somebody is pressing a key, that is sensing. If somebody's pressing a key, not the space bar. If somebody's pressing the left arrow, then I want to change X again. But I'm going to change X by -10. So let me delete that. I'll put in -10. And let's make this bigger so we can see it. And I think this is ready to go. Let's just see. I'll click the green flag. I can press the right arrow and he moves right. I press the left arrow and he moves left. But he walks right through the walls, doesn't he? He walks right through the walls. I don't like that. So I got to do something about that. So I'm going to stop this game. And I'm going to say, if you're pressing the right arrow, you should change the X by 10. But if you're touching black, you should change the X by -10. So let's watch that. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to break these into two parts. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but I think it'll just be easier if people see it side by side. So I'm going to put a forever around that. I'm going to put a new event. So I made two events. One for left arrow and one for right arrow. And I think it's just going to be a little easier to see what's happening. So I'm going to do another if, and I'm going to put this if inside the right arrow if. If somebody's pressing the right arrow, change the X by 10. But if you're touching black, you should go the opposite way. If touching, that's a color, if touching color, what color? Click on it. Use the eyedropper now. Go down to the eyedropper, good. And go find the color you want. I want this black color, not orange, black color, very good. And then just click anywhere, maybe this white space over here. If you're touching blacks, then I'm going to change X again, but I'm going to make it a negative number. So I'm going to go change X by -10. So you see the clever thing I did here? If somebody's pressing the right arrow, the cat's going to move to the right. But if somebody's pressing the right arrow and you're touching black, he's going to try to move both ways at the same time. I'm going to do the same thing for the left arrow. I'm going to put another if over there. If, and I'm putting it inside They're not lined up straight. Look at that. Those ifs are not lined up straight. If you're touching a color, what color? Click on it, get the eyedropper now, eyedropper, and choose a color, not white, yes, black, okay. And then just click anywhere to get rid of that. Change the X by +10. Let's see if this thing works. So if you're going left, you should go negative, but if you're touching black, you should go positive, and so this cat's not going to be able to go either which way. Here, I'm going to make this bigger so we can see it. Okay, here I go. I'm hitting the green flag, and I'm going to press the right arrow, right arrow, right arrow, and then I keep pressing the right arrow, and I can't go anywhere. I press the left arrow, and I'm stuck. This is how walls work. Okay, I want you to make a walls game. Let's give it a good name. I'm going to call it, I think I'll just call it walls. And then I'll share it out. You got to do 5 things, right? The first thing is give it a name. The second thing, share it out. Okay, share it out. It has a congratulations green banner. Give it some instructions. Let's just say just a test of walls. There's not really any instructions. It's not really a game to play. Notes. Thanks for teaching me about walls. Thanks to the computer class for teaching me about walls. And then I have to send it in, don't I? That's the last thing, to send it in. So I'm going to have to highlight this entire thing, copy it, and then send it off to Mr. Lushenko so he can give me a good grade in this assignment. Okay, so now we sort of know how walls work.